Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Skyrim's Special Edition. My name's Camel, and in this video we are going to acquire and inspect the unique two-handed sword known as Bloodskal Blade. If you are following this guide on Skyrim's Standard Edition, this is in the Dragonborn DLC. But if you have Skyrim SE, it already comes with that, so no need to worry. Now, the Bloodskal Blade is one of the key items to playing an Arcane warrior. To see the Bloodskal Blade in action with this badass Arcane warrior build, be sure to check out my good mates Michael and Scott at Fudge Muppet, as they undoubtedly produce the most creative and story-driven Skyrim builds, as is made prevalent with their Bloodskal swinging Arcane warrior build. Do yourself a favor and check them out. As always, a link to their channel will be in the description. Now, as well as being a key ingredient for an Arcane warrior, the Bloodskal Blade is a very unique weapon, as we will discover throughout this video. So to get it, we will need to come to Raven Rock, which is the first town you arrive at when you go to Solstheim, the new island added with the Dragonborn DLC. To get to Solstheim and Raven Rock, all you need to have done is to have met the Greybeards after defeating the first dragon at Whiterun. So provided you have gone and met the Greybeards, we want to head to the docks at Windhelm. Once here, we want to head to the big boat on the right and talk to the captain. Salt Sage here will give us passage to Solstheim for 250 gold, which is well worth the cost. So after accepting a boat ride from him, we will of course arrive at Solstheim and into the port at Raven Rock. Once we get to Raven Rock, all we want to do is head up the hill a little bit to Raven Rock Mine. And on the map, Raven Rock Mine can be found where my character is currently standing, which as you can see is just a tiny bit to the northwest of Raven Rock itself. As soon as we head inside the Raven Rock Mine, we'll find Cressius Cerilius arguing with his wife about going into the mine and the dangers of that. All we want to do is continue talking to him about the mine. We will end up getting the quest, the Final Descent, and you want to just keep talking to him until he gives you the Raven Rock Mine key. After we get the key, we can begin the Final Descent. Now, this entire dungeon I would definitely describe as a long dungeon. Throughout the mine, there are many spiders, and then eventually we'll end up in a Nordic ruin, and this is of course filled with plenty of Draga. They are pretty high level, so I would suggest considering being at least 20 plus before coming in here. It's also an incredibly dark dungeon, so bring your Mage Light spell or some torches. And of course, be sure to bring potions and possibly a follower to help you out. And eventually, in the depths of the Bloodskal Barrow, we will find this chamber room with this incredibly strange looking door. But most importantly, on the floor, on a bedroll in front of this door at the top of the stairs, we will find a skeleton. This is the skeleton of Gratian Cerilius. And on his bones, we will find the Bloodskal Blade, the very blade we came here looking for. Of course, be sure to pick it up and pick up his journal if you want a good old read. And because it can actually be pretty tricky to figure out for yourself, to open the door, what you have to do is equip the Bloodskal Blade and then do power attacks in the directions that the glowing red lines are. As you can see my character doing now on screen, hitting those glowing red lines with the red energy blasts that come off the power attacks from the Bloodskal Blade. That's how you open the door to continue on with the dungeon. So now that we have it, let's check it out. The Bloodskal Blade. It has a base damage of 21, which is the same base damage as a glass greatsword. It has a swing speed of 0.75 swings per second, which leaves it with a base DPS of 15.75. It has a reach of 1.3, its weight is 16, its value is 500, it can be upgraded with a silver ingot and requires you to have the Arcane Blacksmith perk. It also does not benefit from any smithing perks, therefore it cannot be upgraded beyond flawless unless you use potions and fortify enchantments to take your character's smithing skill above 100. And just curiously, it is also the only weapon in the game that can be upgraded with a silver ingot. And its enchantment, power attacks with the Bloodskal Blade release an energy wave that deals 30 damage. A very special enchantment that we're about to learn a lot about. So as we saw just then as I was opening the door, power attacks with the Bloodskal Blade release an energy blast. Side to side and backwards power attacks release the horizontal energy blast, and standing still and forward moving power attacks release a vertical energy blast. And this can be used to blast your enemies away. For whatever reason, horizontal heavy attacks cannot be performed while sneaking. Only forward moving or standing still vertical power attacks. So not only does this energy wave deal 30 points of unclassified energy damage, but upon being hit by the energy wave, the target will glow red for 1 second. During this period, an extra 5 points of this mysterious energy damage are dealt. The energy wave released from power attacks has a range of roughly 15 feet, so this sword can actually be used as a short-ranged weapon with the ability to defeat enemies in unreachable positions. This also makes the Bloodskal Blade the longest ranged melee weapon. Now, unlike other item enchantments, the Bloodskal Blade's enchantment does not run out, so it never needs recharging with a soul gem. If you give this to one of your followers when they do a power attack, the energy wave will not be released from the Bloodskal Blade. This is the same for the player's power attacks from horseback. Now, given that this energy wave isn't fire, it cannot set oil on fire. It can also be blocked by ward spells, but it can detonate rune spells from a distance. Now, this energy wave can actually be used to damage enemies while the Become Ethereal shout is active, and it will not break the shout's effects, so you can be immune while damaging enemies. Now, given the immense power and value of this weapon, I would also recommend not placing the Bloodskal Blade on a weapon rack. To begin with, weapon racks are pretty unreliable, but it seems that the Bloodskal Blade is one of the most bugged weapons to be placed on a weapon rack, and it's just not worth the risk of losing it. Especially given that both normal attacks and energy attacks with the Bloodskal Blade give experience to the two-handed skill, quintessentially making it the best weapon to quickly level up that skill. And just curiously, the Bloodskal Blade is also encountered in the Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind's Blood Moon expansion. Interestingly though, in the Blood Moon expansion, it is a one-handed steel sword, simply called Bloodskal. According to the lore, they are one and the same weapon. Given it has a fairly high base damage combined with this ranged energy wave, the Bloodskal Blade is one of, if not the most well-rounded weapons in the game, being very versatile and able to assist in almost any situation. Not only has this weapon blown me away, but it's blown all of my enemies away. One swing from this will leave your foes with a bloodied L-shaped scar, or as I like to call it, a blood scar. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, I've been Camel, and this has been my guide for the unique two-handed sword known as Bloodskal Blade. Easily one of the best weapons I've come across. Again, if you want to see it in action applied very cleverly to a build, be sure to check out Michael and Scott at FudgeMoppet, link will be in the description, as their new build, the Arcane Warrior, uses this Bloodskal Blade. If you did find this video helpful, I think you may be very interested in clicking on the playlist button on screen. This of course will take you directly to my Skyrim's Guide playlist, where you can select the videos you wish to watch freely. And of course, all of the links will be in the description as well. With all that said, I would like to thank you very much for watching. It's been an absolute pleasure blowing enemies away in the name of YouTube. Have a great day, and I'll see you very shortly in the next video.